Endurance Junkie podcast, episode 111. Hey Junkies, how are you doing? My name is Peter, and thanks for joining me on a new episode of the Endurance Junkie podcast, the show where I will be interviewing some of the fastest, smartest, and most inspiring people active in the endurance world today. Now, if you like these little interviews and don't want to miss any future episodes, just head over to iTunes or Stitcher and simply subscribe to the show. We're also available on Spotify, so if that's your preferred medium, just search for Endurance Junkie Podcast in the search bar and you will find me no problem. Also, feel free to join me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter if you want to discuss or leave your comments. My handle is @JunkiePodcast on all platforms, so it should be nice and easy for us to connect. Alright, on to today's show. Eric Keeler is planning on running across the United States, solo and unsupported, to raise money for spinal research and create awareness of the effects of paralysis caused by injury to the spinal cord. Now, Eric will be starting in April 2018 in Lubec, Maine, on the Canadian border, and travel through 15 states and 11 major cities before finishing at the Mexican border in San Diego, California. So, hi Eric, thanks for coming on the show. Now, for those of us who don't know you, can you maybe start off by telling us a bit about yourself and your own sporting background growing up?
All right. Well, thanks for having me. Excited to be here doing the podcast. Well, I'm 29. I'm British born, but I've been living in the Tyrolean Mountains in Austria for about five and a half years now. And yeah, I had a pretty normal upbringing in childhood. I suffer from asthma a lot. So when I was at school, my sporting background was not that much. I used to use my asthma as an excuse to get out of anything active and just go hide in a computer room or an art classroom. So I never really liked doing sport that much as a kid. So yeah, when I left school, I went and worked in Greece with a British tour company. And did the whole season air lifestyle, where you do a summer and you drink, and then you go do a winter in a ski resort and you drink some more. And I had about three years where I was just doing this same routine of just moving to another place and just partying and drinking. And then on my 22nd birthday, I ended up going to hospital. I just hit that level where I was just drinking too much and it was really affecting my body. So I ended up spending 10 days in hospital. I almost tore right through my stomach lining. So yeah, I woke up in the morning and I was like, it's hangover, and then it was just I ended up throwing up blood. So that was kind of a moment where I was like, right, I can't carry this on anymore. This is 3 years. I've destroyed my insides. It was a much needed warning. So yeah, after the 10 days in hospital, I came out and I decided, I need to get away from this season air routine. So I moved back to the UK. And when I got back, one of my friends was like, you should make a change. I'm going to make a bet with you. You have to run a marathon within 2 years. And at the time I was like, 2 years, plenty of time to get ready for that. And subsequently forgot about it until the guy messaged me. It's like, so 2 years is almost up. If you run your marathon, I was like, I was kind of hoping he'd forget about that. So I signed up for the London Marathon with the charity.
Yeah.
And then just went and ran that about 3 weeks later.
So without hardly any training?
Without very little training. I think I maybe did 2 runs. Never really run before then. Yeah. So I did the London Marathon. It took me 6.5 hours, which is kind of expected when you don't train. Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely I didn't really love the running as much, but it was the atmosphere and the people you connected with while you were there and all the other runners. There's something about it just kind of grabbed my attention.
Yeah, especially the London Marathon. It's a pretty special event.
Yeah, so it's one of the biggest ones for not just runners but for spectators as well. Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely loved it, and it's probably since then that I kind of got hooked on that idea of running.
Okay. So you've been running regularly ever since, or?
I started 2013. I did the London Marathon, and I've done lots of races since then, maybe 2 or 3 a year. And in my head, I have to kind of outdo myself with every race. So whether it's getting a better time or doing a longer distance, I have to do better. So normally when I finish a race, I look for like the next distance up, and then I just sign up for that race straight away. So yeah, I've done up to 100-kilometer ultra marathons, the furthest I've done so far.
Yeah.
But again, it's something about ultra marathons that the community from them is just you can't not love it.
Yeah, especially these longer distances. It's not about the speed and about the result. It's just about finishing and about being part of that community and being outside and enjoying the scenery. And
that's the thing that I love about it. I'm not massively excited about the running because I'm like most people who don't run. I think it hurts. You get out of breath. You just don't want to do it. But when you get there and you've done the first 5-10 kilometers and you're talking to people on the route and people are cheering for you, that's when you're like, actually, no, I'm settling into this again. I like this. And for me, that's what I get out of the running.
Okay, it's already a bit better than Dave Jones, who I had on the podcast recently. He ran like 50 marathons in all 50 US states, and then 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. But he just hates running. But that's not the case with you. I mean, it does hurt. I think it hurts for everybody, but you still find some enjoyment in it.
Yes, yeah. No, I find a reason from doing it. I never like going out and training. I look out the window and it's raining. It's I don't want to train.
Getting outside is probably the hardest part.
Yeah. Once you get going, it's fine. But yeah, when I have a race that's coming up, I just get so excited for it to get out and meet other runners, and that's what I thrive off more than the actual running itself.
Okay. Going on to the main reason why we have this podcast today. I mean, you did that marathon and then you moved up to 100 kilometers. Some people might take an 100-miler in between, but your next step is just to completely run across the United States.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that project and how it came about
well, I mean, it's definitely a big jump from 100K.
Yeah.
But I always remember when I was a kid, there was a guy on the like national news who was running across America, and I remember sitting there before school thinking to myself, that would just be amazing. I mean, forget about the running bit, just crossing America, spending a few months, just the people you'll meet and the places you'll see. And it always stuck in my head as just this guy that ran across the continent. But knowing full well that would never, ever be something that I'd ever do. And then once I started running after the London Marathon, I started thinking, maybe... it might be possible. And then, I did a 50K and a 100K race, and I was like, this actually could be possible. And then about 3.5 years ago, I was sitting talking to a friend in a bar here. I said, what do you think about this idea of running across America? And it was like, it's stupid, it's insane, but for you, it's perfect. And ever since then, I think I put it on Facebook, and I was like, right, now it's out there. I'm going to have to start thinking about doing this. And yeah, it's just kind of snowballed from there.
Okay. You also link it to a good cause. You want to support spinal research.
Yes.
Where does that link come from?
It was from when I did the first race, the London Marathon. I didn't have any way of getting a place, obviously, because they go so quickly. Mm-hmm. So I was just on the tube in London. I was looking through the newspaper at all the charities that have London Marathon places, and the only one that I had any kind of connection to was spinal research, because I had a friend who's had a snowboard accident, and she'd had some discs removed from her back. So yeah, that was the only one I had any kind of connection to. So I was like, right, let's just go with them, at least just to get my place. And then after I'd done the fundraising and a bit of research into what they do, I was just like, actually, these guys are, it's a small charity and it's all funded by fundraisers, and they've got some amazing research projects that they support. And I was like, okay, I'll do one more thing for them. I'll do another race, and then it's another race, and I was like, you know what? I love these guys, and I was hooked on the charity. So what started as just a brief encounter in a newspaper article with a loose connection has turned into this, personal project for me to raise as much as I can for them.
Yeah, okay. That sounds really good, and there's so much left to be done there. So I think every dollar, every pound, every euro counts. Going back to the Corner to Corner project, can you tell us a bit about the logistics of it all? I mean, how are you getting everything organized? I mean, your food, your spare clothing, where are you gonna spend the nights and stuff like that? How did you start organizing such a thing?
Well, I mean, there's nothing you can really find on the internet to plan for something like this. There's obviously a few people who've done it already in previous years, and there's a group on Facebook that I've connected with other crossers, and they're just a wealth of knowledge. There's people who cross like 10, 15 times. And there's a guy at the moment who's on his I think fifth crossing in just over a year.
Okay.
So he's doing the full Forrest Gump. So these people are they're a wealth of knowledge that you wouldn't normally have. So yeah, I'm going to be running with a running buggy, so a stroller, as they say in America.
Mm-hmm.
All my stuff's going to be in there. So I'll be pushing my tent, all my clothes, my water, my food, everything will be in this running stroller. And then I'll be just camping along the way with the occasional motel or couch surfing to when I need a proper shower or a proper bed.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of it will be camping.
Yeah, okay. Do you have like a set number of kilometers or miles that you want to cover each day?
Kind of an average. I'd like to do between a marathon and 50k each day, and then that'll give me a day off a week plus a few days every time I hit a city.
Okay.
But obviously it changes completely. You might have a whole week where you're just going up hills, up mountains, and then that target will go out the window. But then you'll have another week where it'll be perfect weather, it'll be on the flat, and you could crack out 60, 70, 80 kilometers in a day.
So it's basically running by time, more or less, that you'll be doing?
Yeah. Because the visa for America, you're only allowed it for 6 months.
Okay.
And then I'm planning it's going to take about 8 months to cross. So I have to, once I get about halfway, I have to fly out the country and then fly back in again to get another 6 month period.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing is very time constrained.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's all going to work out. I've got a rough plan of town to town what I want to do each day.
Yeah.
But again, that depends on weather and terrain and all sorts.
Yeah. So how are you getting ready physically for the challenge? Are you?
Best I can, because there's obviously no training plans for running a continent. But it's pretty much just run as often as possible. So I'm trying to get out moving every day, even if it's just, going for a long walk in my break from work, or if it's been a long day, just get on the treadmill for a mile, just so you constantly every day getting your joints, your muscles moving.
Yeah. So getting as much as time on your feet as possible, I guess.
Yes, yeah. I work in a kitchen, so I'm standing all day, pretty much. So after a 13, 14-hour shift, the last thing you want to do is go and run 20, 30k. But I'm happy if I can get on the treadmill or get outside for 10, 15 minutes. For me, it's just get the body moving, get the blood pumping as much as possible.
Okay, so you'll be definitely gaining a lot of fitness as you will be going along.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to learn lose a bit of my cake belly.
Okay. So of course we're all hoping that everything goes well for you there on the road. But do you have like an idea of some of the challenges that you might come across along the way?
One of the biggest challenges I think is going to be the safety running along the roads, because there's obviously a lot of canal ways and old trail ways that you can go on, which are great. It's nice and secluded, it's quiet, but there's a lot of it that's going to be along busy not highways, but busy American
Yeah,
routes.
interstates or something.
Most of the states you can't run on the interstate, but there's parts which are just the roads are so busy that you can't switch your brain off at all. And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge is running for what can be sometimes 250 kilometers on one of these roads and just not being able to switch off. Just every car that's coming past, you're watching just in case something happens. So I think the mental challenge is going to be just as, if not bigger, than the physical challenge of running across.
Okay. So you will be taking 1 day off per week of your running?
Yeah, on average,
okay.
About a day off a week. And then when I hit the big cities like Chicago and Denver, I'll take 4 or 5 and have a bit of a holiday for a few days.
Yeah, when you're there, I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, you may as well enjoy it a little bit. Yeah, because I think I hit Chicago for July the 4th, so Independence Day. Yeah. Which I'm very excited for. Yeah. Be a proper American.
Yeah, that will be a cool day for sure. So you're starting on the East Coast all the way up north, the Canadian border, and then you're running across another diagonal to the West Coast Mexican border.
That's correct.
Why did you pick that route?
I can't remember exactly why it was that route. I had some places that I wanted to go. I wanted to see a friend in Chicago. I wanted to go back to Denver and visit some friends who I'd met years and years ago. And that originally was the only 2 points I wanted. So yeah, I just went on Google Maps, put those 2 in, and I was like, okay, LA, be kind of cool to finish, California on the beaches. And then on the other side, you got New York. And so I was like, okay, that's going to be my route, New York to California. And then I started looking at other people's routes, and I was like, these are all kind of pretty similar to what other crosses have done. And me being me, I want to be slightly different. So I was like, okay, let's move it to Boston. And I was like, still quite a few people have run to Boston. I was like, can I go? But Canada's just there. And I was like, okay, let's start in Canada. And then it just kind of like snowballed. And I was like, well, if I'm going to start in Canada, why don't I finish in Mexico? Yeah. So instead of just doing this coast to coast, I was like, let's make it a bit longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, a diagonal is longer than a straight line.
Yeah, so that's kind of where that route came from. It's just like, let's just make it a bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah, again, when you're there, you might as well take it in as much as
you
can.
Do that. Yeah.
How will be able to track your progress? Will you be using like a GPS device or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I've got. I don't know if you've seen them before. Little spot trackers. Okay. They're pretty cool. A lot of adventurers use them, and it updates every 5 minutes, I think, to their server, and then it plots on Google Maps exactly where you are. Yeah. So that'll be on my website, a link for that, so you can literally see exactly where I am on the route, see how many days I've got left. Absolutely anything you want to know will be live.
So that's on the website?
That'll be on my website. And I'm obviously going to be updating Instagram and Facebook and all the usual social media every day, just to connect with as many people as possible.
Good stuff. Besides, of course, raising a lot of money for spinal research, what do you want to get out of this project yourself, personally?
Personally, well, I think since my whole hospital drinking stomach explosion, I kind of steered a lot away from going out to bars and doing that whole kind of socializing side. So I feel like I've lost a lot of my social skills and my way of personally connecting with people. So on a personal level, I would love to be able to get that back again. Because I'm going to be some places, it could be miles or days between towns. So I'm going to have to talk to people when I get to a town to be able to get water or food or top up my supplies. So I need to connect with people. So I'm hoping that kind of forces it back out of me, so I can relearn this way of connecting with people again.
Yeah, I think the US should be a pretty good country to do that. Yes, I think people are pretty open and friendly.
Yeah, I've heard from other people that, when people hear what you're doing, they just literally, they'll come, you stay in our house for a day, we'll cook you dinner, we'll drop you off where you need to go. That's what I want to personally get out of it, is this way of connecting with people again.
Yeah, I guess for them, the crazier the idea, the better.
Yes, yeah, they seem to love the crazy over there.
Good stuff. So when are you setting off then exactly?
I fly into Boston on the 24th of April, and then on the 29th, I'll be on the first day, Sunday the 29th of April.
So getting stressed already, or excited?
Well, I've been planning for so long. It's been about 3 years of planning.
Wow.
I feel like I don't have the kind of, what's the word? I don't feel scared about it because I feel like I've planned so much. I think I'm more excited than scared at the moment. But I know as soon as I get to that start town on the Canadian border, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? This is a stupid idea.
You'll probably come across a couple of those moments.
I think there's going to be quite a few, but I think that'll be the first time it really sinks in that tomorrow I'm starting a 7,000 kilometer run. Why? But I think that's the start date, 29th of April. I'll start running.
And all of that because of some stupid bet in a bar.
5
years ago.
Yeah, so if I can find that guy again.
Any idea what you want to do next? I mean, it's going to have to become a lot crazier.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
There's a lot more continents to cross. You can cross it from north to south.
Well, I was thinking maybe go kind of like top of Alaska down to the southern tip.
Yeah.
That could be a 2 year run. But looking at that, there's a whole bit I think just south of Panama. It's about 100 miles. Yeah. There's no roads. Yeah. There's no tracks. It's just forest and marshland. Yeah. So that could be a bit tricky.
You can skip that part.
Yeah, maybe just go around on a boat. I've got a few ideas, but I'm not really going to commit to anything until this is done.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, I could get to the end of this and go, I hate this. I'm not going to do it ever again. Hopefully not.
No, I don't think. I think it's going to be an amazing journey, and wish you all the best. How can we even support you? I mean, we can donate, I guess, to spinal research, but. Yes. Any people listening in the US, can they sort of help you out in some way? Yeah,
well, we've got donation links through my website, cornertogorner.run. And, you can either go donate to the charity, which is awesome, or if you want to personally support the run, there's a website which I use called Pledge Sports. And, I've got different tiers. So instead of just giving money and not getting anything, I've got different things like you can get a postcard or a printed photo from along the route with a letter about when it was taken and about that week. And just like some small things to say thank you for people who have donated to personally help me along the route. Okay. But that's all available through the website.
Okay, I'll put those links up on the show notes page.
Awesome.
Do you have like some sponsors or something that support you as well?
Yeah, I've got six, 7 sponsors. Cool. Not all of them are running, which is great. I've got such a wide variety. I've got a power bank company called OmniCharge. They've given me, some great power packs and solar panels to keep me going throughout the run. Mm-hmm. There's a small company called Out and About. They give me the running stroller. It's like a €400 running stroller. They're like, yeah, take it. Anything you need, just enjoy. I've got a compression company called Bioskin. They're big in America. Mm-hmm. So they give me, leggings and shin supports. Yeah. And then a few others, Scrubber. They do wash bags for adventurers, so I can keep all my clothes clean in the middle of nowhere, which is going to be a lifesaver when there's no laundrettes. Yeah. And then the last one is I can never say the name. Scimitar. They make like technical running t-shirts.
Okay.
So you see all the charities out there running in their t-shirts. They make those.
Yeah. Okay.
So all these companies are absolutely amazing. They're giving me stuff without even asking for anything in return. Yeah. Just like, take it, use it, have an awesome time, send us some photos.
Okay, cool. You're still looking for a shoe sponsor?
For what, sorry?
A shoe sponsor?
Oh, yes. This is this has been the big one. I run with Hoka shoes because I absolutely love them. They're just so comfy and, the soles are so thick. Yeah. they just make everything feel great. But obviously all these big shoe companies, they've got their elite athletes who they sponsor. So it is very tricky to get hold of them. But I've got a few friends who said, okay, I'll buy you a pair of shoes.
Because you're probably you're going to use a couple, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between 10 and 12 along the way. Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
We are doing, in coordination with Spinal Research, a virtual challenge. So people can sign up and do a bit of fundraising for the charity. And at the same time, every day they log their miles on the website for what they've run, they've walked, they've cycled, and they can virtually cross America with me along the route that I'm doing. So that's going to be something really cool. We're going to have little teams and competitions within the site. And then at the end, you get this really cool actual physical medal that's, I think it's about 15 centimeters big. So it's a big piece to add to collections. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be on the website as well.
Yeah, that'll be links on the website, yeah.
Okay, well, and before we were recording, you talked also about that Anna Frost, the ultra runner, might be joining you for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Are you open to get people to join you on route?
Yeah, definitely. If people want to come along and, run a mile or 10 days with me, I'm going to be more than happy to have some company. I think after running for such a long amount of time by myself, just having people to talk to as I run will be a lifesaver in some parts.
Okay, so make sure to shout it out on Twitter and Instagram when you're somewhere. And
well, if you go on the website, it's got the whole route on there. And if you keep in touch on social media, see where I am, then just drop me a message, and I'll run with you.
All right, cool stuff. Well, thanks for your time, and
thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, and good luck. Good luck with the run. We'll be following online, and wishing you all the best.
Thank you, and I'll send you a photo from somewhere in America.
Yeah, definitely have to do that. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Alright, Junkies, you've reached the end of yet another episode of the Endurance Junkie podcast. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Eric Keeler for coming on. Now, if you've enjoyed it, please do leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher, and pass this episode on to someone who may also enjoy listening to it. Now, if you have suggestions for possible future guests, just shoot me an email to peter@junkiepodcast.com, and I'll try to make it happen. Alright, thanks again for listening, and I hope you'll join me next time. Cheers.